Okay, this is my third crit vid, and it's my discussion about my thesis statement. And so my thesis statement is, in the novella Heart of Darkness, Kurtz is the id in the subconscious of the story because of his behavior with his infatuation of Ivory.
Okay, so you say that he is infatuated by Ivory, and what are the characteristics that Kurtz possesses that brings out the id?
Well, he's selfish, and
Okay.
he runs on the pleasure principle, and he also runs on his life instinct, which causes him to be reckless, and a lot of the characteristics of the id make him... a lot of the characteristics that the id has is characteristics that he has.
Right, the whole pleasure principle.
He seeks immediate satisfaction.
Right, being barbaric and...
Right.
And so how does he, with him being barbaric, how does he treat the natives?
Well, he treats the natives badly, and he starts to steal ivory because his want for ivory is just so out there. It's gone too bad. So he just kind of does whatever he needs to do to get it without looking at the cost of it.
Right. Because the id doesn't really think before it acts. It just goes out and does.
It kind of just does what it wants. It's like if someone has something you want, your id automatically tells you that that needs to be yours and you need to get it no matter what.
Right. And then another thing is whenever Marlowe comes around and he sees Kurtz on his deathbed, does Kurtz's perspective change?
Yes, it does, because he's starting to come to a realization of his actions and what he's done. And the last words we hear from him are the horror, which is basically him exaggerating the horror of the inner animal of a human.
Right, and so that's why we have the ego and the superego to mediate.
That's why we have, the superego basically focuses on social morals. So the superego and the id are always at conflict with each other.
Right.
So what the ego does is it mediates the two so the person won't go mad.
Right. So that's why we have that in, because Kurtz was the id, that's why, of course, he suffered in the end.
Yes, because he's lived on his life instinct, and his life instinct got him to where he was on his deathbed. Okay. He was reckless and careless.
All right. Is that it?
That's why he is the id in the subconscious, because he's an animal, and in the story he fits one of the three main parts, which is the id. So yeah.
All right. That's good.
You can cut videos, right?
Yeah, I can try.